Right, so we're reading The Lost Scrolls of King Solomon. Yes, sir. By Behrens, Richard Behrens. Right. Let's get to it. Good, Benjamin, he said. Do you trust God enough to work for him? He raised an eyebrow, as if he was concerned about how I was going to receive his question. Do you mean missionary work? Suddenly I imagined myself, Torah in hand, marching into obscure regions of the South American rainforest, converting the local Indian population to Judaism while dodging steel-tipped spears, Brazilian machetes, and poison darts. No, he said, breaking into a smile that faded quickly into a more serious expression as he continued to speak. I mean, would you put your trust in God to the test, perhaps by retrieving a few holy objects for him? Was this why I came to Israel? Did this have something to do with the recurring dreams? Was I here to actually work for God by retrieving a few holy relics? Suddenly, it dawned on me that it was a possibility. But why me? I'm not an archaeologist, and my Hebrew is so rusty that it wouldn't be of much use if needed. I don't know, Rabbi. This whole thing sounds very Wait, Benjamin. The rabbi cut me off. Before you answer, I have a couple of stories to tell you. You may find them interesting, maybe even enlightening, he said as he brushed off the surface of the rock next to me with his hand and sat down. I wanted to hear his stories, but I wasn't crazy about getting involved in this. I had a feeling that this whole thing wasn't going to be as simple as he was trying to make it out to be. I pulled out my handkerchief and wiped the sweat from my forehead as I waited for him to collect his thoughts and begin his stories. Back in the days of Israel's glory, he began, King Solomon had in his possession a number of religious artifacts sacred to the Jewish people. Among these holy items were Aaron's rod, the remainder of the oil with which the prophet Samuel anointed his father David, and so on. He kept them safe all of his life. It really wasn't a problem. As he grew older, however, he began to be concerned about the safety of these holy relics. He knew that the enemies of Israel that feared to attack Israel during his lifetime wouldn't hesitate a minute to go to war against Israel after his death. Fearing that the holy objects that he had promised God to protect might fall into pagan hands, he went to great lengths to hide those objects in various places around Israel. Do you understand, Benjamin? Yes, it's very interesting, I said, readjusting myself on the rock. I didn't know that King Solomon had those things in his possession. Not many did. Even those who were closest to him had no idea. But that brings me to my second story.